As a modern shooter looking to stay at the top of your game, you know you're not just going to wake up one morning, roll out of bed, and those skills are automatically going to be there. It takes a whole lot of physical training and, more importantly, a whole lot of mental work. Now, you might say that exact scenario holds true if you want to be a professional athlete, most specifically a Major League Baseball player. Isn't that right, Jason?
You got that right.
And you're watching Modern Shooter.
You are going into the unknown. What's on the other side may know you're coming.
I'm Luke Harder with Modern Shooter, and welcome to Houston. Now, no matter where you live, you probably don't have to go very far to find somewhere where you can punch paper with your rifle. And again, you probably don't have to go very far, no matter where you live, to find a tactical training center. But make no mistake, not all tactical training centers are cut from the same cloth. To get fully prepared, to be at the pinnacle of your game, you need both physical and mental training. You need somewhere that's going to turn you into a tactical athlete.
Hi, I'm Jason Castro, catcher for the Minnesota Twins.
A tactical athlete is just what it says. A person is concerned with their physical and mental game as much as their target score.
To me, a tactical athlete is someone who is dedicated to their craft every day, no matter what that is. Really dedicating yourself to putting in the work day in and day out to make sure that you're at the top of your game and proficient with firearms.
And that's what attracted Minnesota Twin catcher Jason Castro to Mast Solutions in Houston.
Initially, what drew me to this type of training was the just combination of kind of an athletic environment mixed with shooting. So it's not just standing static on a line and shooting at an indoor range. There's a lot more variables combined with being outdoors, shooting and moving and communicating with the other people in the class. And I think that's the first thing that drew me to the class, and what kept me coming back was you know, just the knowledge and the things that I were picking up, not only from the instructors, but you know, other people in the class as well that were learning right alongside you, and things that worked for them, and just little tidbits you can pick up here and there.
So Jason Castro came to us about 6 months ago, and we've kind of watched this evolution of his start to end point. And I use endpoint as in right now, today, even though that's not the end of his journey. When he first came, he was already a decent tactical shooter, but we're pushing him. We're pushing him to do things a little bit differently, and he listens because he wants to learn. All right, so we're not going to use cones. We're just going to call it out. If you feel like you're ready, just call set, and you and I will get set up in that platform. Then we're ready, moving. Get down, feel a little bit farther. When you're ready, or if I'm ready, we'll say set. Get on those targets.
Check.
Because you know what? I very rarely see cones out in the real world.
Ready, go. Set. The structured environment of a professional, you know, shooting class kind of lends itself to having somebody there watching your every move, and when you're in the moment shooting, sometimes some things can be lost on you. So when you have an extra set of eyes that are, you know, kind of watching you from afar and making sure you're doing the things the right way and handling the weapon the right way, goes a long way, and not just seeing how things feel, but also getting you know, a third party helping you out and teaching you where you might have gone wrong, and kind of correcting you and getting you back on the right path. So a lot of the same positions you get into catching, being a catcher, translate to being a shooter as well, from you know, balanced knee position to the catcher squat. A lot of the movements are the same, and some of that translates well to being able to shoot on the move and make that transition a little easier. So being in a catcher squat, you got to get in a low balanced position, receive the ball, and make a smooth transition to throw. Now I'm going to change up my gear and show you how the movements translate well from catching to the shooting world. So it took me no time to change over, but you'll see that the movements are pretty much similar. There are a lot of parallels between athletics, baseball in particular, and the shooting sports. The dedication to becoming proficient in either one is paramount. You can't just show up either on the firing line or to a baseball season and not having put in your work and just think that you're gonna get the job done. So it requires dedication on a daily basis to maintain your craft, to make sure that those perishable skills are on point. And it's just that day-to-day maintenance that keeps you up at the top of your game, and whether that be playing baseball, swinging a bat, throwing a ball, or shooting different types of firearms. It takes that dedication that you need to get good and stay good with either one. So in the last 6 months, I've been shooting with Mast, and I was playing for the Houston Astros, and I became a free agent, and I signed with the Minnesota Twins, but I'm still going to keep coming back to Mast Solutions and taking their classes and being a part of this community that has really taught me a lot.
Coming up next, the most important tool a shooter possesses has nothing to do with the gun. This is Modern Shooter. Modern Shooter is brought to you by Aguila Ammunition. Feed your firearm. By H&H Precision Rifles. Engineering precision rifles and components for the world's most demanding shooters. Sig Sauer Electro-Optics. See the difference. By Killer Innovations. Redefining the future of precision. By Securit. Intelligent firearm storage. And by Turnbull Restoration, specializing in the accurate restoration of historical metal finishes on period firearms. And by Benchmark Barrels, world-class accuracy made in the USA.
Welcome back to Modern Shooter. You know, when most people think about tactical training centers, this image of behind the gun, fancy trigger work comes into play. And yeah, that's exceptionally important, and heck, that's the end game. But what Mast focuses on, and what's arguably the most important part of all this, is preparation for that mental game. Boom!
On a drill like what we just did, it's the main objective is to break down the individual skills that each individual needs to have to be able to operate in a more complex environment with a lot more things happening other than just focusing on target and sights and trigger. We need to kind of break that scope lock and pay attention to the surroundings and the other individuals out there doing the drill with you, and just really work on and emphasize the importance of being situationally aware.
The mind controls everything. It's going to control how your body reacts, and it's going to control all of the things necessary to do anything well. Whether it's a doctor, an attorney, pro ball player, or a shooter. So the reality is how do we take and not only include the athleticism that is necessary to be a gunfighter, but equally as important, get the mind to work. Gentlemen, we're gonna line up right here in a straight line facing your target. What you're gonna do is deck your gun, muzzle towards target, knock out 15 push-ups. When you're done, you can be last, but if you're first, when you're done, grab your rifle, run up to that first cone. At that cone is when you can load. 5 shots on your target. When you're done shooting, I want you to take 2 steps off the line. At that point, you're gonna go to Tori. And what Tori's gonna do is feed you to the steel one at a time, once this area is clear, and you're gonna shoot 2, 2, and 2 on steel targets. Up! Up! Up!
Well, I was an athlete in college. I played college baseball, and you know, I've always been pretty heavily into athletics and nutrition and exercise, so it's something that's part of my life anyway. But obviously the carryover is, you know, the better athlete you are, more in shape, the better your skills are going to transfer over to your physical activity.
But it's really simple. It's a simple move. Basically, because I do have bad knees and I do have a bad back, I don't do the hand down and kick my feet out, okay? I come here to that, and then I roll forward, okay? You can do this number. I think that's way too much CrossFit-ish for me. I don't care for it. It's way too much bouncing. So, however you want to do it, but make sure that you're hitting the brakes the 6-8 inches before you need to stop so you're not over traveling, okay?
If you want to go to the range and just shoot plank at 7 yards and not move, we're definitely not the place for you. What we do is we want to incorporate that physical and the mental attributes and work all of that together so that you end up to be a more prepared citizen. If you shoot with us, you're going to move, you're going to shoot and move, and you're definitely going to engage your brain.
Coming up, the shooters take what they've learned into a gunfight.
Hey there, I'm Amy Robbins, back at the range, demonstrating Aguila's 5.56 full metal jacket boat tail round. I love this round. It is engineered for long-range performance. Whether you're target shooting, you're hunting, or using it for tactical applications, this is a great round. Its boat tail bullet design not only gives precision shooters greater accuracy, but it delivers consistency at those long distances. Why is that? Well, let's jump into the specifics. This 62 grain bullet travels 3,150 feet per second at the muzzle. It uses non-core priming, guaranteeing reliable ignition no matter what the weather conditions. Aguila sources the highest quality materials to produce the primer, the bullet, and the powder all in-house for the 5.56 round, which means you're gonna get proven performance shot after shot. Let's go see it in action. That's a 5.56 full metal jacket boat tail from Aguila. A great round to feed your firearm. Hi, I'm Amy Robbins, and today I'm going to talk about Aguila's 20-gauge shot shells. In the field or at the range, these shells are engineered for optimal performance shell after shell. Our strict quality assurance program and ballistic evaluations ensures high performance and dependability. Our 20-gauge field and target loads are of high quality and are loaded in 1 ounce, 7/8 ounce payloads respectively. Field load shot offering are from 4 through 8. While target loads are 7.5 through 9. These shot shells are created using state-of-the-art technology and superior components. Only the highest quality materials are sourced, and Aguila produces the primer, powder, wad, hull, and shot all in-house. An Aguila 72-meter shot tower produces a perfectly spherical shot for optimal pattern density and consistency. And today I'm going to shoot the 7.5 shot, 7/8 ounce, 24-gram shot shell. Let's see what it does. Aguila's 20-gauge shot shells. Great performance and consistency, shot after shot. Feed your firearm. Pull.
As an editor, I try pretty hard to stay unbiased. All new products, rifles, optics, doesn't matter. But very, very quickly, my heart was stolen by the Whiskey 5 from Sig Electro Optics. And recently, Peter, right, the entire Whiskey 5 line has been upgraded, correct?
Yeah, we did a big upgrade to it. The first thing that we did is everything now is built on a 30 main tube, so you get a little bit more travel out of everything. We have a tactical TEH, or tactical 100 turret on it now, so it's 100 click turrets. We also put a zero stop now, which is something of the norm in the market. You've got to have a scope now with zero stop if you're doing long range shooting. A capped windage turret, so if it's in your pack, you're not going to spin your wind on it. We also have a parallax adjustment in our 3 to 15 and 5 to 25 platforms and illumination control. We also have in our 3 to 15, which we haven't had in our 5 to 25, is our anti-cant system, our levelplex. We put that in, you put your levelplex on, as soon as you gather it into your scope on your target, you hit the button, it'll tell you within 0.5 degrees which way you need to cant.
At the Line is brought to you by Aguila Ammunition. Feed your firearm.
You have your gun now to see if you're zero.
A scope like this is as equally suited as some longer range, on a longer range hunting rifle as it would be a precision rifle. The Whiskey 5 is the definition of diversity.
Up next, we head back to Houston for some fun at the end of the day.
At Mast Solutions, we're pretty structured because we have to be structured. Safety, again, is key. But generally, at the end of the day, we blow stuff up.
Ceasefire!
This is Modern Shooter. Ammunition. Feed your firearm. By H&H Precision Rifles. Engineering precision rifles and components for the world's most demanding shooters. Sig Sauer Electro-Optics. See the difference. By Killer Innovations. Redefining the future of precision. By Securit. Intelligent firearm storage. And by Turnbull Restoration, specializing in the accurate restoration of historical metal finishes on period firearms. And by Benchmark Barrels. World-class accuracy made in the USA. Be sure to check out Gun Digest online and on Facebook.
Welcome back to Modern Shooter. And look, most everything that happens at a tactical training facility is highly structured, and it has to be. You know, you've got the safety angle, and let's face it, we're practicing for a firefight. You either win a firefight or the other option's not so good. But there's a lot more going on at these things than what meets the eye. It's about building skills both on the range and that you can use anywhere else in your life. It's about meeting like-minded people, and it's about having fun.
All right, so here we go. These guys have been standing on the line doing accuracy-based performance, and now we're gonna get them into something fun. This is gonna be great. So, we've got a vehicle. We're gonna get 4 guys. These 4 guys are gonna drive downfield, and they're gonna take an engagement from some bad guys that we have downrange, okay? As they come out, they're going to have to not only do a bailout on the vehicle, but they're gonna have to move all the way downrange using cover and proper movement, muzzle control and safety. Let's see how they do.
So as soon as they get out of the truck, you want me to go ahead and disengage and roll out of the back and peel out?
Yeah, get a little bit on it,
Okay.
and then don't worry about telling me because I'll hear that gun.
Okay.
When that gun goes quiet,
All right.
I'll know I'm closest to the threat, so I'm going to lay down the most fire. I'm going to be most engaged with the target.
All right, guys, bag of explosives, and I've got one on my hip. Show it to you. Boom, check this out.
Contact front!
Contact front!
Reverse, 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 reverse!
Fun, fun, fun. Good job, man. Yeah. Good rate of fire, good movement. We stayed engaged, we stayed moving. We didn't get sucked into it. Awesome work, heads up. Fun stuff.
Good job,
Let's run it again.
We're moving from intro to a 2-day class to more operator classes, and as we go, the reality is none of the fundamentals change. The only thing that changes is your ability to take in more information and process it in a succinct way that the subconscious is doing the fundamentals, and now we're just stacking on more situations and longer drills, if you will, that are specific to fighting with that platform.
So there you have it. What a phenomenal way to spend a day. And remember, I think the key takeaway here is that you can make these courses anything you want them to be. I don't think you can find a more challenging activity that'll challenge you physically and mentally than a day spent at a training facility like this.
All right, it's been a great day at the range. What we're gonna do, since Aguila supported us with all the ammo, they got us some great, cool things to give away. So let's do a little competition. On the range, we're helping you to improve your shot placement and your shooting ability and your speed and your accuracy, but it applies to everything. You know, our brain is a beautiful thing, but it controls everything. And if you're not putting in the right information, same with your body. If you're not putting in the right nutrition, if you're not going out and exercise, emotion is motion, and that's what we want. We want, if you can tap into your emotions and find a reason to do something, like this, what I do on the range today is gonna save my family tomorrow, I guarantee you, you're gonna up the ante. I guarantee you, you're gonna ask more questions, and I guarantee you, you're gonna get ready for the fight.